I'm Robert Cardoza, and you're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics, where we tell it like it is. I want to remind everybody you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn. Please send me your emails at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. This segment is one of my very favorite segments. This is where we deal with emails that are sent in to me, and I want you to continue doing that. Sometimes I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because I don't get these emails until just before I actually do them on the show. In this particular case, it's going to be a language problem because some of these names I'm not going to be able to pronounce so well. I'm going to probably butcher them, but we'll give this a shot anyway. This first one comes actually, I can't lie to you folks. This first one actually comes from my producer, David Kamatoy. Now, he would like me to tell you it came from somebody else, but I want you to know it came from him. Now, here's what he's writing. By the way, he's from Coronado, California. Nice place. Not too far from where Mitt Romney decided to settle because the California economy looks like it was going to be good. He's in La Jolla. On the other hand, you've got to think about where the California economy is going to go. We have a democratically controlled governor. We have a democratically controlled Senate. And we have a democratically controlled House of Representatives in or assembly here in California, and they're raising taxes. So, I don't know how good that's going to be, but talking about raising taxes, that's what David wants to talk about here. He says, while we are complaining about our $250,000 wage earning tax hikes, this is the Obama cliff thing, which is now, he's saying $400,000, France's new real, actual socialist leader, President François Hollande and Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault, are proposing a 75% tax on anyone making over 1 million euros. Now, Gerard Depardieu, and you know who he is, that's the French actor, great guy, I love watching his movies, along with several others, are planning on leaving France to go to Belgium. Are there any relevance to the United States in your thoughts? Well, here's sort of what part of it is. There's a lot of hype going on with this thing, and I was doing a lot of thoughts, and I've got clients that are in France, and I've got clients all over the world. And here's the thing: France has the 8th largest tax rate in the world today. The lowest tax rate in the world today, right here in the United States. So let's use that as a basis because, you know what, it kind of depends on what you're measuring that against. Let's start with France on this 75%. The truth is, this 75% is kind of a misnomer. They're taking a lot of things into account. Right now, the tax rate in France is really 5%. But it's 5% on gross earnings, no tax deductions, no credits, no anything. So when you start thinking about it that way, that's already getting up there. And then France has an additional tax on everything, whether you buy a car, you put in a television, you install something, you open up a new business. It's a socialistic country, and there's taxes for everything. Part of the tax rate in France is if you hire somebody in France, they're yours for life. You can't get rid of them until you go out of business. You can't fire them for any reason. They're yours. They're entitled to 3 weeks vacation a year, and they get the health provided by the country. It's a socialistic country. So when you think about this 75%, they're taking all of these tax rates, adding them all together. It winds up being about a 10% increase for those people making €1 million or more. Now, €1 million or more, it's about $1.4 million in United States dollars. Now, that's what the euro exchange rate is right now. And it sounds really, really horrible. And you look at the United States as being at the bottom, and when you think about all the different taxes you pay in the United States, okay, we pay income tax on our taxable income, but we also pay real estate property tax. We pay sales tax. We pay taxes on everything we do. When you add it all up, we're back up there in that 50–60% tax bracket for everybody. So don't think that you're sitting there all alone and France is so bad. France being the 8th largest, it's not so good either, but it's a socialistic country. You got to remember, their country provides their citizens with their paid vacations and with their health care and with all kinds of opportunities. Not that I would want to do that. Matter of fact, my clients in France would much rather be here in the United States. You don't want that to happen. you want to make sure that you look at things realistically. When they talk about that 10% increase, it's really not that much. Now, I also have a question here. It's about real estate for business. Is real estate buying a good building good for investment in 2013? Buying real property is always a good investment. Always, 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 especially now when we've had this adjustment. You can write it back up again. This is the time to buy real property at a discount, and who wouldn't want to do that? Now, you know, if you want to capitalize and maximize your investments, you do it with real property. Now, you know what? You're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics. This is where we take all of the information coming in, put it into a funnel, bring it out, and tell you the truth about how that analyzes out and what it does. And you only get that on a nonpartisan basis right here on the street, the intersection of business and politics. I'm Robert Cardoza.